Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take a look at ICP Internet Computer Price Set one more time, because I have been saying that by mid-August we could actually be seeing above $10 of ICP Internet Computer Protocol. I have also tried to explain time and again that we're getting to the conclusion of this bull market, and a lot of people obviously get it twisted because their question is like, well, how can we be getting closer to the end of the bull market when ICP is still at $5? But what I would say is that, in recent bull runs that we have had, like the 2017 and the 2021 bull market, actually it was only the last 40 to maybe, let's say, the 50 days that we saw a lot of altcoins really reaping like 10x's, 20x's, whatever the case may be. So the bottom line here is that ICP doesn't need 6 months to go ahead and hit its price target, which I'll quote in a few minutes right now. But before we start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this video is short but straight to the point and still very much relevant for the community, right? If you want to be seeing more of these updates, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you can see all my ICP Internet Computer Protocol updates. Let's just get right into it here. So we are starting off with this falling wedge that we are seeing developing here on ICP Internet Computer Protocol. I think that over the weekend and Friday as well, we had somewhat of a scary moment here where we were seeing the price dropping very much bigly and right around like a minus 25%. So this, technically speaking, is just a backtest of this falling wedge. And falling wedges are very bullish patterns. I've said time and again that statistically speaking, you look at them hitting their price target like 66% of the time, right? Then again, the top of the wedge is usually the technical price target. So for this specific one, we'll be looking at ICP right around 22, 24, $25 thereabout. But I would say that this is just the beginning here. Now you can see that from where the price is sitting, we're looking right around like 300%. Now obviously in the context of a bull run, 300% is not all that great, right? I would actually say that this is just the beginning here of the ICP Internet Computer price, because if you also look on the left side here, you realize that that is the actual first resistance here. So you see that this was a little bit of a rally before the whole thing capitulated. It has never seen this price targets once again. We can say that, okay, it was rejected here once, but we're going to be testing that resistance one more time. Now, one thing that usually happens in crypto is that when something is not doing great in terms of its price action, nobody wants to look at it, no matter how great it is, like in terms of the fundamentals and stuff like that. But ICP getting back to $20 and stuff like that is going to draw in a lot of people. I'm telling you that, because it has such a great narrative leading into this of this caffeine AI thing. I mean, it's really, really big. And as they continue to roll it out to a lot of people and the public, it's going to make a lot of noise, in my humble opinion. Now, that accompanied with great price action is the perfect storm that you need for fantastic price action. So right now, it doesn't look enticing for anybody to be touching ICP at $5, just because the regular normie doesn't understand how, the market works, right? That you buy at the lows and you sell at the highs. So what's going to be happening, in my humble opinion, is that once we are reaching this $25 mark or something like that, this is just the beginning. Actually, from there, price actually is going to be, accelerating very much quickly. I have always shown you this fractal here, and that was the one which was suggesting that by the time we get to mid-August here, we could see $10 plus here for ICP. Now, I mean, from a time frame perspective, we are going pretty well along with that, and you can see how the price really starts accelerating towards the end right there. That's the same thing that I anticipate the price of ICP to do. By the way, this fractal, I copied it from Dogecoin. I think the price action was 2024 in August thereabout, right? So I think ICP is following in very much closely right there. It doesn't feel like that, right? Because everybody is tired at this point, and the only people remaining, let me just be honest with you, are us who are like, strong believers in ICP at this point. That's why you also see the volume is very much down. The people who are remaining here, the people who have staked ICP for 8 years, I mean, a big chunk of that, obviously, because they are looking to sell at $1,000 and maybe more than that, right? So yeah, price action is not moving as much as people want to, but I'll tell you that it will just only take one great candle and everybody's talking about ICP and caffeine AI in the future, right? So that's where we are with this fractals and stuff like that. But let me go ahead and show you something that is a little bit different here pertaining to how ICP has performed against the Bitcoin price. Yes, it has been terrible. I would, go on to admit that. But that's not only isolated to ICP, right? That's like 95% of the altcoins. And this is why I'm also saying that it takes only one great candle for the whole situation to change, right? So in my opinion, in the coming few months, I think we're going to be seeing ICP go ahead and perform close to a 700% against the Bitcoin price. The reason why I'm looking at it is that even the last rally that we had here for ICP, it also came with a little bit of, it started obviously with some kind of bullish divergence here when the price was making some kind of a rounded bottom kind of a thing happening right there. And we are also seeing the same thing happening today. If you take a look closely, this is what we are repeating. And also we're looking at the same thing here on the RSI too. So we're looking at an RSI bullish divergence that we also had back then in 2023 before the whole thing just moved. I mean, if you take a look at it very much, I mean, this is funny, right? So ICP goes and spends, I don't know how many months this is, right, going down. Then all of a sudden from nowhere, in about 3 weeks, right, it goes on to do like a 234% against Bitcoin in 2 months, in 2 weeks actually, after going in for more than 8 months here. So this is what happens in crypto. And remember what I said at the beginning, that we don't need 8 months, we don't need 6 months here for ICP to go ahead and hit $50, to go ahead and hit $100. It takes a few candles, right, and the whole market to decide at once that, okay, there is something called ICP. Everybody is switched to that idea, and you'll see the price do some crazy numbers. So that's why, I'm not really worried, and I don't give up on cryptocurrencies, because, I've learned a lot over the years. And this is the next thing that I'm anticipating the ICP price to do, very immediate short term here. And I would just say for now, I haven't seen a very strong narrative anywhere around the market. The things like DeFi, the things like meme coins, the things like, AI, for example. Last year it was really, really big. So far, in this, recent times that we have had, there is no specific narrative that is jumping out. I would actually think that what's going to be pushing the market is, a potential Fed rate cut. So that is going to be until like 17th of September. So my thesis is that between now and that date, we're going to be seeing a very, very good market, right? It doesn't mean that we're not going to be having, the normal minus 10% every day. We're going to be having that each and every now and then. But the bottom line here is that I expect the market to run again in a very short space of time. I'm also looking at this Bitcoin dominance here. It has formed like this rising wedge. And just like, the opposite falling wedge that I was showing you here on ICP, this one is bearish. And it being bearish actually is very good for altcoins, and ICP included. So you can see that, we have broken down from this falling wedge. It appears that, over the weekend, we have had a back test of this horizontal support, and it's looking like the whole thing is going to be headed down once again. One good thing about this thing also is that if you see something rising like this, the moment it falls, it really goes quickly. We have a saying in crypto actually that when going up, you take the escalator, but when going down, you go with the elevator, right? So this is what is happening here with the Bitcoin dominance, in my humble opinion. And I think that it's going to be going down very much quickly here, helping ICP and other altcoins to be recognized. So yeah, it's just a matter of time for me here. It's not a matter of if or anything like that. So let's see if my prediction here of $10 by mid-August actually plays out, because, that's a very much bold call. In any case, I'm not going to be changing my mind towards that. If it doesn't happen, well, cool, it didn't happen, right? CFU failed, and okay, no big deal. It's all good. So anyways, $10 is not the main target here for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. I've said that here for the falling wedge, we're looking right around like $22 thereabout, just as the beginning of the, whole thing. And eventually, I think that, we're going to be testing this rally before the whole thing capitulated once again. So that is close to $88. And yeah, I mean, since it's close to $88, you never know what happens with the demand right there, right? Maybe people are much more interested in it because the narrative changes quickly. Everybody's like, okay, this caffeine AI thing is going to be the next big thing, and it's going to be taking over the chat GPTs. People pile into the market. This could actually be sending the price very much easily above $100 now. The narrative continues, the demand goes even higher and higher. And I think that a maximum of $220 is not a bad idea for this bull cycle, right? There's a chart that I always show you, but I won't be able to access it at the moment because I have to turn on my VPN. But in future videos, I hope I can actually go ahead and show you that. So we're looking at that $100 as my main big price target for this bull run. But I think I'm very much open also to the idea of like $200 for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. Now somebody's going to be saying that, oh yeah, we are close to $1 than we are to, $100. Okay, for now, I mean, to each their own. We'll see what eventually happens here. Personally, I'm very much bullish on ICP. I've always been bullish. And when something takes long, it doesn't mean that it will never happen, right? There's also something called patience, and there's also something called endurance, right? In fact, insurance is what actually separates boys from men. So we'll see what eventually happens back there. I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I'll see you on the next one. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye bye.